Welcome, I'm Cynthia Greer. I'm talking about twin flames with serious illnesses or disabilities who are very much aware of the significance of their connection, yet they choose to remain in toxic marriages with a partner where the lessons have been learned. Before you get impatient and click off of this video, I urge you to stay with me because at the end of it, I'm going to talk about a twin flame who successfully left a situation like this and where he is today. But before I get started, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the work I do. I am a twin flame myself and spiritualist, and I work with every aspect of spirituality and twin flames. I'm the author of Spiritually Single in Sickness and Health, A Woman's Guide to Healing at a Soul Level, Twin Flames, Beyond the Veil of Illusion, and the sequel to that book that will be out soon. Okay, so during this time period, couples who are in marriages that are extremely toxic, where the energy is batting off the wall and the behavior patterns are repeated over and over again because they are trying to keep a dead situation alive for the sake of appearances, finances, and material assets. But what happens when a twin flame meets their soul connection or they reconnect after many years and they wake up to the fact that that cycle is truly over, yet they are frozen in fear, afraid to move out of it and create a life with their twin flame who is lovingly waiting for their return, willing to accept them with open arms despite the difficulty of the chronic illness or disability. Okay, the biggest reason that many stay in is because in these kinds of partnerships, one is waiting for the other to die, or both of them are waiting for each other to die because a lot has been invested in the marriage. There is, in many cases, high-dollar life insurance, and basically the widowed party is going to clean up and be able to start their life over in a lot of comfort. Yet I have never seen one of these cases where it didn't backfire. Because usually when there is narcissistic behavior involved, people will shadow box each other and the energies will continue like a record, an old-fashioned LP with a scratch on it, stuck in a groove, repeating the same lyrics, the same words over and over again. And as this continues, the twin flame with the disability becomes sicker. And even with great medical care, therapy, the possibility of a cure, nothing seems to work because their will, their energy is being sucked out from the partner that is actually death wishing them. And in many cases, there is overdrugging that is involved because with most disabilities and catastrophic illness, there comes a lot of pain. So the twin flame with the disability often gives up, and because they've turned the power of attorney over to the spouse in trust, they allow themselves to be drugged in order to deaden the pain. So in the process of all of the death wishing and actually becoming weaker and physically dying by degrees, what happens is, in many cases, mental illness sets in. Bipolar disorders brought on from certain antidepressants being misused. Issues with substances to deaden the pain. Manic depression that is so severe, the twin cannot see their way out of it. This was the case with a twin flame that I personally worked with and his significant counterpart. And he had been in a long-term marriage where he had turned everything financially over to his wife. And this included his entire future because he could no longer work with the disability that he had. So the drug use continued to deaden the pain, and the spouse went on with her life as if everything was normal, and he became more incapacitated, sicker, and mentally distraught. Now, during this time, he had maintained a friendship with his twin, who accepted the fact that he wanted to remain in that marriage. And she lovingly told me that her path was one of service, but she would always love him and support him because they had been childhood sweethearts they had remained friends, and she wanted to be there for him until the very end. And when he saw that the end was rapidly approaching, because the situation was no end, the marriage wasn't going to get better, and his health wasn't going to get better overnight, he woke up and he made the choice to get out of the toxic marriage. And within 48 hours, he had let go of everything he had a stake in financially, and left with the clothes on his back. It was a cross-country trek, and during the trip, he called me and told me that had he not left the toxic marriage, that he would not have survived another few months. He knew that he was close to death. 2 years after the fact, he is on his road to recovery with his twin flame. His divorce is completely finalized, and they are creating a life together. Has it been easy? Absolutely not. There were times when both twin flames thought it was not going to work. Too much was against them, and the mental aspects of his illness were too great a cross to bear. But with the right therapy and the love and the strength that is between the two of them, they have overcome the odds. This may not be a possibility for everyone, but for anyone who is watching, who feels the bullying and the abuse and the energy being channeled towards them of a death wish, I tell you this: there is no power that is greater than that of God, and that light of God and power never fails. But if you truly desire freedom, you have to claim it and believe, because it's all about the faith. The faith that you will be protected, and that when it comes to God, that is the final say. Not a human who is programming for you to leave the earth, or your twin flame to leave the earth, so they can remarry after collecting a hunk of money. Think about that, because there is always hope. I wish you so much love and many blessings.